So
Perfect. Okay. So cool. So, we can start the webinar. There we go. Okay, so that lets people in. Cool. All right. Yoo-hoo! Hey, Rona. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yay to another Monday night where we have an awesome Claims of Truth healing circle. I have somebody who came in as 412-445-6254. If you want to change your name, so I don't have a memory like that for phone numbers. It would be awesome, or at least let us know who you are so I know. It is great to see you, and I am really excited about this Claims of Truth Healing Circle because I got so many great healings on this. I don't know about you guys, how it all showed up, but the idea of doing a claim of truth that was not specifically spelled out in the book, like I could take the actual, letters and go, here it is, was a great healing opportunity for me. There was a lot of like, oh my God, why are you giving this to me? And what if, I get it wrong and blah, 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 blah. Anybody else relate to all that nonsense that goes on in your head? So the claim of truth tonight is, I am in gratitude for the gift I am. And you won't find it particularly exactly spelled out in any one of the books, but I was and still am using the book of Knowing and Worth. And oh my gosh, if you have anything going on where you want to be in your knowing, where you are struggling or having an issue with claiming your worth, this is the book. And we're going to be doing some fun things out of the book tonight. It's one of my favorite books, and so I'm so very excited about it. It's a really, really good read. And I'm a little biased. I don't know about you guys. Feel free to put it in the chat what your favorite book is. If you have a favorite Paul Selig book, perhaps you're somebody who has just read, one of his books, and that's perfect because we all start somewhere. But I just really love this opportunity to use the book and teach from the book. And okay. So welcome everybody who's coming in, and Jan and Brandy and Kate and Jenny. It is great to see you. Jill, it's wonderful. I'm so excited that you all, show up on a Monday night in the middle of the summer. It is totally awesome. So, our claim of truth, I am in gratitude for the gift I am, from the book of Knowing and Worth. And I am totally curious to know if anybody has noticed anything. If you're somebody who hasn't gotten the claim of truth until tonight, you may or may not have some sort of experience, but you certainly have had some sort of experience in the last couple weeks around claiming your worth, right? Around knowing that you are a gift. And if you have any stories to tell, examples you want to share, or the healing that you would like to take on the idea of saying that you are a gift, please feel free to put it in the chat, because that is the exact thing that we are doing. So, casting a circle of light, specifying that only Source Creator God, my healing team, be present for tonight's Claims of Truth Healing Circle. where we are using the claim, I am in gratitude for the gift I am, and being open to seeing the places where we are indeed a gift, where there are lots of people who are in gratitude for us exactly as we show up. And of course, where we have an opportunity to take the healings and get the teachings and have more awareness of just how powerful and magical and beautiful each and every one of us are. So may it be with the blessings, blessings, blessings of Source that we have fun, that we know that we are word and we are worthy, and that we love to be in community with each other, sharing our stories, knowing that we are going up, up, up in frequency, and trusting it all as divinely perfect. With that, we say amen and aho. There is never a time that I do an opening where I do not hear Kat say aho. I don't know about the rest of you if you ever hear her say aho. She's actually the one who started that, and there's never a time I don't hear her. So, how's your week been? How's your last 2 weeks been? Last week we had a new moon last Monday, a week ago. Next Tuesday we have a full moon. It is power day after power day after power day. And, you know, we can have all kinds of opportunities for healings. Last week I was out of town, and I swear my higher self was like, all right, we're going to give her a break while she's out of town. And I had my new moon this weekend, where I was just down for the count. There were a few times I was like, oh my God, my head. I didn't have enough hands for what was going on with me. But that's okay. That's how it showed up. And I had to keep reminding myself that there was nothing there that I wanted to keep. I wanted it all to go, and go very fast.
Kate says, rough week, truly.
Yeah, it can be a doozy, man. I actually have sent messages before going, all right, who signed me up for this? And where's the pause button? And Care reassured me that there is no pause button and that I really did sign up for this. So, Kate, we're happy to give you more healings on that, and I'm sure tonight will certainly help. It's a nice opportunity to get more healings. So most of you probably already know that the claims of truth actually are statements that are always true. And I love this addendum that they say in the book of Knowing and Worth, which is whether or not you can comprehend it. Because if you have read any of Paul's books, there are always moments where you read a paragraph and you're like, what? What in the world was that? I have no idea what was just said. But the idea behind them, the healing that is behind them, is that they are liberating you and me from the collective agreements, so that we know ourselves, so we no longer base our knowing on past creations, which is perfect for you, Kate. I love how that shows up, because we have a lot of ideas about who we are based on our past creations. And so when we use a claim of truth, we have an opportunity to be like, oh yeah, that's right. I am not that anymore. And so it's a great thing to release ourselves from our past ideas. And then, of course, as you speak them, you're calling them into manifestation. So as you speak the claim of truth, I am in gratitude for the gift I am. Can you see what happens? The gratitude just comes rolling in. And gratitude is the thing that transforms a lot of low frequencies. Having that gratitude just roll in is like, gratitude, indigo blue, absolutely beautiful for transforming low frequencies. The more that we can be in gratitude, the more we can express our gratitude, the more manifestation happens. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. So if you're following along, feel free to say, I am in gratitude for the gift I am. I am in gratitude for the gift I am. I am in gratitude for the gift I am. What shows up for you? Let's have a big, big download of resurrection, of wonder, of Christ consciousness. Just keep dumping it, dumping it, dumping it into the container. Christ consciousness, for those of you who may or may not know, Christ consciousness frequency is an electric blue, and it is what we call the forgiveness frequency. In truth, there is nothing to forgive, but we call it the forgiveness frequency because so many of us feel like we have to forgive ourselves. We have to forgive others. So there's a lot of that coming in. Resurrection frequency, that worthiness, 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 transforming more of that.
Brandy says, all those sneaky judgments and what other people say or think about me. Let's heal more of that stuff.
Oh, yes. Yes, let's do a lot more of that. Those sneaky judgments, holy cow. You know, one of the things that have shown up for me is the places where I'm so afraid people are going to think something about me that never comes to pass. I'm like, I got into a conversation with a friend of mine, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I have so much judgment about what you're thinking about me." And she said, "And what am I thinking about you?" And I was like, that I've lost my mind and I don't know what I'm talking about and I'm a lousy healer. And she's like, "Wow, I didn't know I should think all those things about you. That never even crossed my mind." Great reminder that everybody else is so busy thinking about themselves that they're really not thinking about all that. So big, big healings for that. Brandy, there's a ton of that in your third eye healings for everybody. There's a lot of those ideas of who and what we are right there in our third eye. So I have to tell you a funny story. I have to tell you two funny stories, both about my neighbor, both about my judgment of my neighbor. So we have new neighbors. I've talked about them probably a little bit before. And they moved in and they just started doing all kinds of stuff. I mean, there was constantly, the kitchen sink went out and cabinets went out, and they just were constantly doing things in their house. And they wanted to put in a pool and decided not to put in a pool. And so instead they decided to put travertine down. It turned out beautiful, but they dug up their entire backyard and put travertine tile down throughout the backyard. And I have been really triggered, like, oh my God, what are they doing? Like, why are they doing all this stuff? Why do I care? A really great question. Why do I care what my neighbors are doing? But I've been really triggered by it. And so late Friday night, my friend texted me and said, "Hey, I don't have anybody to watch my daughter. Can you come down and watch my daughter?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Tell me when I need to be there." She's like, "Would you mind coming for most of the day on Saturday?" I'm like, "Sure, no problem." Off I went. That was the day that my neighbor put in the tile. And oh my gosh, the noise and the mostly the noise that went on was just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. My cats were scared. My husband was on his last nerve. He calls me up, "Can you hear that noise?" Nope, can't hear it. He goes, "Oh my God, it's so loud, it's so noisy." And I'm like, yo, higher self, thank you, thank you, thank you for being on that I don't need to be there to get triggered by all of that. So your higher self has got you in whatever way you need to get the healings, right? I didn't need those healings. I just need the healings when I came home and said, oh my God. And then I got another round of triggered. He must be, overwatering the plants that he has, and he's turning my whole yard into a mess. And oh my God. And it turns out that he did exactly what my husband asked him to do. And it doesn't have anything to do with what he's done. And so it's an opportunity for me to just go, oh, heal that more, heal that more, heal that more. I don't need that stuff in me anymore where I'm getting triggered by something he's doing because he isn't doing it. It's the stuff in me, right? So I got to say, all right, where is that judgment? Everybody feel free to ask. Where are you holding more judgment? Yep, mine's right across my frontal lobe. More judgment, more fear of being judged right there. And believe it or not, that actually keeps us from acknowledging the gift that we are. Yep. So, one of the things I got out of what was happening with my neighbor is that the quantum field and your higher self is always working in your favor, whether you realize that or not. Your higher self is always working in your favor. Doesn't always feel like that, right? I had lots of moments where I could swear my higher self was pimping me, giving me all, put the most annoying person next in the house next to me. That's just my higher self wanting me to get lots of healings. No, my higher self is always working in my favor. So ask yourself, where is your higher self working in your favor and you don't see it?
Jill says, my third eye lit up on where I hold the most judgment. Rather funny because I was thinking how I don't even see myself as a gift.
Right, right. Absolutely. You don't see yourself as a gift, and there's a lot of self-judgment. Yep, a lot of self-judgment right there in your third eye. Big, big healings. I don't judge myself.
Jan,
Go ahead.
sorry, Jan says, My new neighbors too. I've been healing it for 2 weeks now.
Oh, yeah. They're such great healings. Such great healings. Gifts for everybody's third eye. Lots of gifts. Everybody, feel free to put your hand out. Get a gift for your third eye. It will look like a key, but your key might look like anything under the sun. So you might have a key that looks like a key. You might have a key that looks like, a hotel key card. You might have something that looks like a lemon. Jan. Jan is actually Paula. Awesome.
And Kate says, heart space. I'm very judgmental of myself to the point of a lot of anger versus self.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. We're happy to give you a healing, Kate, on that. And, what we do for one, we do for all. So please know that everybody has some self-judgment, for example, in their sternum, just like Kate. And so that's what makes these healing circles so cool, because everybody brings in their stuff and they share their stuff, and then everybody gets a healing on everybody's stuff. So it's never just, oh, my stuff, that one thing that you brought in. It is, for everybody, gifts for everybody. Whew. Holy cow. More. There we go. Moving more of that judgment. Cool. Everybody find a spot. Who wants to find a spot? Who wants to share? Okay, so somebody has their sacrum, and we're happy to work on that. Also, somebody has their dantian, which is where their belly button is. That's an energy power center. Happy to work there. And of course, we have a few throats. We have a few brain stems. And somebody has a right toe. Perfect. And just in case you didn't know this, you are always welcome to attend the Healing Circle remotely. And there are a lot of people who just send their souls to the Healing Circle, and it's awesome. It's very fun as I get to have more and more awareness of the souls that just come in and go, yeah, I'm here. Okay, ready for some fun? I think it's fun. Here's what we're going to do. Everybody is standing in the middle of a circle. Everybody is standing in the middle of their own circle. So see yourself in your own circle.
Kathy says, thank you for working on judgment, clenching jaw.
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody see themselves in the middle of a circle. You may have an awareness of what your circle looks like. You may have an awareness of, like, if you had drawn it in chalk and it was, bright red, or you may have an awareness of your circle being made out of bricks, or you may have an awareness of, as you stand in your circle, that it's very small or it's very big. There is no judgment about what your circle looks like. It's your circle. You get to design it as you want, but you are standing in the middle of it. Cool. Okay, so everybody's standing in the middle of their circle. I want you to consider all of the things that you are or that you would claim are out of reach for you as being outside of the circle. So let's say, for example, you really want to be in a relationship and you're not. That might be something that you have put outside of the circle. You're standing in the middle of the circle, and you being in a relationship with someone is outside of the circle. And you can decide where you put it outside the circle. You can decide what goes outside of the circle. You may have an awareness that it is the very thing that we're talking about being in gratitude for the gift that you are. You're like, I'm really not a gift. It might be something about abundance. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough love. I don't have enough clarity. I don't have enough friends. Whatever it is, you do not have to put it in the chat. It is totally okay if you don't. But it's all those things that you have put outside of your circle. So I definitely have put a lot of the places where I'm not worthy enough, that I'm not enough. It is definitely sitting outside of the circle. Being in gratitude for things, there's a part of me that's like, I'm just not in gratitude enough. Makes me sound really what is that word? It's not a good thing. But I just feel like I'm not in gratitude enough for what I have and how things show up. So I put those outside of the circle. And the gratitude actually looks like a little box. It's interesting. It's not a very big box. It's probably a box about the size of, at first I was like, oh, it's a box like a little Tiffany box with a small piece of jewelry. And then I was like, oh no, it's bigger than that. It's like a file box there. And it looks really lonely sitting out there. It's like, here's my box filled with gratitude that I'm not using. And holy cow, if anybody feels something in their body, please know that their body is mapping where that exists in you, right? Because you are imagining it in your mind, but it's going to show up in your body. So mine is showing up in my back, right below my ribs. And that's where I'm going to get the healing on. And if you have an awareness of it and you want to put it in the chat, we're happy to help you with it. But you can also just know that you are getting the healing, right? I have a big healing team. I have lots of assistance as I need it. Know that you're getting a healing on whatever you have put outside of your circle. Mhm. Okay, so we have you in a circle, in the middle of a circle, and we have some things that are outside the circle that you have put outside the circle. We're going to work on the circle, downloads of wonder, of more resurrection, of more gratitude, more inspiration, more restoration for everybody's circle. You may have an awareness of some other frequencies that your circle is being filled with. Some of you have got a bunch of magic frequency. Some of you have a bunch of joy and rapture and union frequency going in there. And each and every one of these frequencies that is going in your circle, so cool, is helping you with the healing of whatever it is that you have placed outside the circle. Yes, Ashley, I see that resurgence. That's an awesome frequency. Resurgence just came to the planet on July 6th. Don't worry, I don't have all of them memorized. That was just my brother's birthday, so I can remember that one. Awesome frequency. Violets and blues. Whew. Happy for that, giving that healing to the person who just has under the left ribs. So you're now standing in a circle, in the middle of a circle that is filled with lots of high frequencies. Outside of the circle are all the things that you put outside the circle.
Jill says, my circle showed up like one of those rainbow swirl lollipops. It didn't make sense until I realized I have many things outside my circle.
Oh my gosh, yes. That is so cool. Rainbow frequencies. Rainbow frequencies. That's such an awesome frequency to put into your circle because rainbow frequencies help with control energies. Yep. And yeah, that works a lot with unconsciousness. So you're like, I didn't realize I had that many things, I had anything outside of my circle. But then when I was like, ooh, the rainbows helped move the control energies. So now I'm like, wow, look at that stuff that's out there. Awesome. 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 Now, what I think is particularly cool about this is that each and every one of us has a different circle. It is designed specifically for you. So those frequencies that are in the circle are perfect for you and whatever your body needs, whatever your higher self is going, yes, please. And as these frequencies are doing the work on you, who is standing in the center of the circle, your circle is expanding. That's actually how it all works as a metaphor for the healing work we do, is that we have this idea of who we are. That's our circle. And we are, of course, in the center of our circle most of the time. We're in the center of our circle. And we have this idea of who we are. And we put all these things that we aren't outside of the circle. But then what happens is we keep bringing in higher frequencies in. It fills up the circle and the circle expands. And those very things that you have put outside the circle are now in the circle. Hopefully you can have an awareness of that, that whatever you have put outside the circle is now in the circle. And I love this sentence from the book of Knowing and Worth. Who are you to deny yourself all of those gifts? Who are you to deny yourself all of the things that you put outside of the circle? And it's really hard for me to say that and not have it sound harsh, but it's actually said with so much love. You are worth it. You are worth all of those frequencies. You are worth all of those things that you have put outside the circle. You are absolutely worth all of it. And that is all being gifted to you. So your entire circle is just part of you. It's a great big gift. And I hope you all are giving yourself permission to be loved. Giving yourself permission for the healing to take place. Move those past life pictures. Let's put some purity frequency around that. I've got another circle. It's another circle filled with all the golds you can possibly imagine. Gold, 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 gold. The circle is the love of Source Creator God. There are golds and holy cow, there's so much there. Truth and trust and restoration and resurrection and just every frequency you can imagine is there. But what keeps pulsing for me is the gold, gold, gold. A lot of remembrance. So there's the circle with Source Creator God right there. Where do you put yourself on the circle, in the circle? Do you put yourself right next to Source? Or are you like, let me see, where is that spot where there's like, a cave or a shadow or a place where Source isn't going to see me? Let me just stand right there. I actually, when I was doing this earlier, it was like, if Source was facing this way, I was standing behind Source. And it made me laugh because how could I possibly stand behind the light? There is nowhere to stand that isn't the light. And so I was like, oh, I get such a great healing on this. You may put yourself on the edge of the circle. You may feel, I'm just not enough. I don't think I even deserve to stand in the circle. That's okay. Right? It's just an acknowledgement, a place where you go, oh, wow, Look at that, where I don't even think that I could be in the circle. Now, if I asked you to step into the circle, would you? For those of you that are like,
Keely says, that's such a good healing. Thank you, Bonnie. Today I've been struggling, feeling like something isn't possible for me to heal.
right? I can heal a lot of things except this, 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 this. Yeah, absolutely. So if you know where you're standing in the circle, on the circle, what I'm watching happen is everybody has a being of light that is standing next to you. Wherever you're standing, there is a being of light standing next to you. You may have an awareness of who they are. You may not. They're members of Melchizedek and Moriah and the luminaries, all enlightened, seraphim, cherubim, archangels, and they're taking your hand and leading you to where you actually are. I have a really cool awareness of Merlin, like, come on, let's dance, and dancing my way into the circle. You may have a lot of atheist energy showing up, a lot of unworthiness showing up. I can see that in the container. And this very cool thing is that you're getting an awesome healing on that. Oh, look at everybody else that's in the circle. I can't go in there. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy enough. Big healings. I love it. And the really cool thing for me is that there's really nothing for you to do. It's not like you need to prove yourself. It's not like you need to be able to reach a certain frequency. It's not that you need to be able to move your hands, because maybe you're like, wow, she moves her hands a lot. I can't move my hands like that, so I can't be in the circle. Oh my gosh, thank goodness that isn't an issue, because moving my hands for a long time was not my jam. Everybody is in the circle, and everybody is getting the healing and the gifts that are there. Each of you has a pentacle available. See if you can take a look at that.
Jill says, I'm in the circle, like melted together with source. The beginning of class, I think I was a gift. How could I not now? And by the way, I love gold glitter, LOL.
Jill, that is so awesome the way you say that. It is exactly that. How could you not? How could you not be a gift? And yeah, you can have lots of that gold glitter. It is true of each and every one of us. How can we not? Each and every one of us is standing right there. I love that you say melted together with source, because there is no separation. There's only one big blob, one big gold ball of light. I am in gratitude for the gift I am. I am a gift. Feel free to repeat that to yourself. I am a gift. And so now we know we're in the circle. I'd like you to invite somebody else into the circle. Consider somebody who is really struggling with knowing that they are a gift. I had a moment today in energetic architecture class. I'm the TA for that class. And I had a moment before class where I was like, but Joan, how do we really know that when we say something is being done, that it is being done not only for us, but for everybody else? And she thought about it for a second and she goes, that's just trust. And I was like, ah, another healing, another healing opportunity. Trust that the person that you invited into the circle, because this has happened to me, but I don't want them in the circle. It's my neighbor. I don't want them in my circle. I've got about 10 other people that I would like to put in the circle first. Trust. Trust how that shows up. Because when I can include somebody who triggers me, when I can include somebody that is such a great healing opportunity for me, what happens is it all opens up, right? It's just like, oh my God, it's so cool. When I can recognize that it's all right there, the moment I invite somebody in, it all explodes. Jill, I think that is an awesome thing, because how I just saw it was like a big gold glitter bomb, and glitter just sparkled everywhere. That's how we change the world. Find a way to invite somebody into your circle, into this awareness that they are a gift. And the minute they step into that circle, I love that. Just like that. My kids used to make fun of me because I didn't know how to make sounds. You know, like the whole vroom, vroom, vroom car thing. Mom, you don't know how to do it well. I think they'd probably be laughing at me now. What are you gifting? The people who are you are inviting into your circle, what are you gifting them? More wonder, more rapture, more forgiveness, more gratitude. I wanted to go storm over to my neighbor because I thought he created a big wet area that was starting to kill some of my plants. And my higher self was like, nope, not doing that. And I was like, but. here's what the quantum field did. They gave their little 3-year-old son a remote control helicopter, and the helicopter landed in my backyard. So my neighbor knocked on the door and said, excuse me, I hope you don't mind. We're not interrupting anything, but could we go get the helicopter in your backyard? And I'm like, oh my God, of course. Who am I to deny a toy to a 3-year-old? I'm like, and you're welcome to go in the backyard anytime. And we started a conversation, and it was just so beautiful. And I had an opportunity to see how my neighbor is not the big bad wolf that I thought he was. And Ashley, I love that you say you're clearing more distorted mirrors and cleaning and clearing any illusions of separation. Yes, please. Any of the places where I think I'm separate, any of the places where I think that people can't be love and gratitude and joy, maybe it just shows up as kindness. And Ashley, I love that you brought the distorted mirrors to the party. Everybody has a distorted mirror. Right in front of their eyes. It's kind of hard to see when you're looking, when you have a distorted mirror right in front of you. It's really hard to see. I'm going to move the distorted mirrors. Now, that's a really cool thing to move. You know, my higher self is doing like the squeaking, like when you clean a mirror and it makes that squeaky noise. Cool. Here's another cool thing. Go ahead, Ashley.
Rona says, I see distorted mirrors behind my eyes as well.
Happy to help with those, Rona. I love that awareness.
And Jenny says, Saturday we went to dinner with a couple, and when I talked to her about the energy work, her reaction is so negative. It's really hooked me. Now when I invite them in the circle, she does not want to step in.
Cool. I'm glad you brought that up. She doesn't, Jenny. You're absolutely right. She doesn't want to step in. And for those of you who may have somebody who's like, they don't want to step in, ask why. Now, the me of a while ago would have been like, oh, okay, it must be something I said or did. I didn't do it right, blah, 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 blah. And now I can see your friend has a lot of fear. What's going to be expected of me? One, yep, very scared. And the programming that we all have had, that is like, you know, we need to hide our light. We need to hide ourselves. If God knew that I fill in the blank, God would not love me anymore. Lots and lots of fear. So, can we give her a healing? Yes. We're going to give her a healing, Jenny, and work on her fear, and we'll see what shows up.
Rona says, I can't tell if the people I invited into my circle were agreeable to step in.
That's a great question. Um, so Rona, you have one who is just kind of like hanging on the edge of the circle, kind of that feeling of, is it safe? Is it going to be okay? What's going to be required of me? And we're happy to give everybody who has somebody who looks like that, the healing on the fear, and gift them to, to the degree that their higher self wants to be gifted. It's a great healing opportunity. Because remember, we were once like that as well, right? We were once the people who were like, I don't know. I don't trust this. I'm not sure. Who's that person who's busy telling me that, you know, this is all light and this is all high frequencies? I'm not sure. Particularly when you have the beings, don't trust them, don't watch out, watch out. Yeah, absolutely. So healings for all of those people. And thank you very much for bringing that up so we can talk about it.
Rona asked, what is the other person doing? Do you see it?
Um, so you have one that's sitting on the circle that's kind of hanging out on the circle, and you have the other one that's kind of stepped in. I would call it like taking a couple steps in and sort of been like, okay, I'm okay here. This is an okay space to be in. And remember that we get to take the healings on whatever shows up. Because I really want people to just like go bopping in, and be a part of all of this, because I've had the experience of it being such an amazing thing. But not everybody has that experience. Just like when we reassign beings, there are some beings that are kind of like, all right, I'll go. And then there's other beings like, I know what that's going to be like. I've experienced that. When in fact, they actually haven't. So we just keep loving and blessing people wherever they're standing, right? And all of them are being gifted with lots of healing.
Jill says, I invited my daughter into the circle asking for more worthiness because she verbalizes her distorted mirrors to me, the very same mirrors I see in myself.
What a coincidence, huh? Right? Yep. And your daughter is getting a healing on that as well as you. And it's beautiful when we can recognize not only what is in us, but we can recognize what is in somebody else. And we can recognize the things that we have in common, right? Oh, okay, I can see where that came from. She has that, I have that. And happy to give you a healing on any of the places where you're like, oh, that's because of me.
Jenny says, just now I got a lot of pain in back of my head and frontal lobe. Need a healing, please.
Absolutely. Yep. Happy to move more of that. That was that. Oh my God. A lot of fear, fear, fear. So everybody's getting a pentacle filled with rapture, periwinkle, and truth. Jenny, we're going to put that pentacle, holy moly, in your frontal lobe. And we're going to put another one back here. And if you'd like to know where yours is going, feel free to ask your higher self. Cool. Awesome. Okay. How's everybody doing? Jenny, I'm gonna put my team on that as well. Keep working on that. That tired is a lot of the atheists and a lot of the unconsciousness moving out, and that's a great thing. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take these circles, and these circles are actually going to be part of your gift. It's very fun. To me, it looks like they're just going right inside of your body. You may have an awareness. Your higher self might be like, oh, I want that in my frontal lobe, or I want that stretched out in my whole body, or I want that in my dream space. Those are some of the things that your higher selves are saying. And of course, the field is getting everything that we've done. Because remember, you are a gift, and you being a gift is you giving permission to everybody else to be a gift as well. You are the light. You are out there shining your light, helping people access more of their light, more of their gratitude, more of their gifts. That's what each and every one of you are doing on a regular basis. Not because you sit down and you're moving your hands, or because you are spending a lot of time working on it, working the healing, but because you are the light, because that's what you're here to do. You're like, yes, I'm going to be the light and continue to shine my light for everyone else. It's beautiful. So I'm sure you all already know this. The recording for the Healing Circle goes on YouTube. You are welcome to watch it there. You are also welcome to send people to watch the video. And all of the healing happens in present time. Tomorrow at noon, if you're watching it, that is present time. If you watch it in 3 weeks, that is present time. That's where all the healing happens. And it is available for each and every one of you. And it's not like, oh, I watched it once, I got all the healings, and that's all there is. If you're called to watch it again, please feel free. I actually watched it again a couple times in pieces, and I was like, that was an amazing healing. And if you never watch it, that's okay too. I just want to let you guys know that it's there. We'll be back here in 2 weeks, whatever that date is, because it crosses over into the next month. It's harder for me to do that. But we'll be back here in 2 weeks. I certainly love and appreciate each and every one of you who show up and bring your stuff with you. You know, it is an awesome thing to know that I have this community around that comes every 2 weeks and says, yes, I'm going to help heal others. Yes, I want to go up in frequency. Yes, I want to transform the field. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all you are, all you be. I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. And if you have any questions, need any help, feel free to text me, feel free to jump on social media and ask for some help. Happy to help you. I love and bless each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all you are. Have a great week and a great full moon. Take care.